Good morning. Dan and a few others are doing an amazing job with these daily devotions. We're going to come back to those themes that we're exploring at the moment next week, but I'm just going to dive in for a few days and bring some encouragement around some of the emotions that we might be feeling at this time, like worry or anxiety, doubt, fear, guilt, shame, etc., and focus on what Jesus said about it all. In yesterday's Lifehouse Online, little plug there if you haven't seen it already, I mentioned the thought that crossed my mind last week. It was along the lines of, have the birds always been there, or is it just me? It's almost as if the birds are reclaiming the earth. The humans are in lockdown. Let's take over the world, except not in an American accent. It's either that, or we've just been given an opportunity to see and hear things that we haven't really noticed in a while. In Matthew 6:26, Jesus is talking about worry, and he talks about the birds of the air. He says, look at the birds, free and unfettered, not tied down to a job description, careless in the care of God. And you count far more to him than birds. I love that. And I just want to take a moment to encourage you today, because whether or not you're a follower of Jesus, all of us at times have the tendency to worry. Worry is just a normal human emotion. It's a natural coping mechanism when things just get too much. And no doubt there's a fair bit of worry flying around at the moment. People are worried about their health, their finances, their loved ones, their jobs, even their sanity. There's always plenty to worry about. Jesus talks about some of these things in these verses in Matthew 6. But basically he says, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You see, the thing about worry is that it holds you back and weighs you down. It stops you from experiencing the freedom in life that you were created to enjoy. And these apocalyptic birds taking over our gardens are simply enjoying the freedom that they have been given, whilst us humans are being shut up in lockdown. But the reason Jesus says don't worry is simply because he wants us to be free. He wants you to be free. He wants you and me not to be caught up in the worries of this world, but to be free and unfettered, careless in the care of God. And that's the key really to all of this. In the verses before Jesus is talking about how we put our trust in the material stuff in our lives, and how that becomes a problem and a bit of an incubator for worry. So if I asked you today what you're worried about, you'd probably think of at least one thing. You might think of half a dozen things. But what if I asked you, who are you trusting today? What would your answer be? Yourself, your job, the furlough scheme, your savings, the NHS? The answer to the second question will probably reveal the answer to the first one. Jesus then goes on to say, your Father in heaven knows that you need all these things. You need to pay the rent, you need to feed the kids, you need to stay well. But he says, seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, and all these things will be given to you as well. Therefore, do not worry about tomorrow, for tomorrow will worry about itself. Each day has enough trouble of its own. We know that, don't we? So you might be thinking, well, it's easier said than done, Matt. You haven't seen the state of my bank account or my kitchen cupboards. It's not easy, and I know that. But if you don't put your trust in God, the weight of worry becomes too much to handle and stops you from living free. And God cares about you way too much to see you suffer like that. So tune in tomorrow for the second part of this, and I'll be talking about how to overcome anxiety. And in my opinion, anxiety is the big brother to worry. So God bless you. I'm praying for you. I'm thinking about you. I love you loads. See you soon.